Hello, everybody, and welcome to a walking film. Walking with. Wait. Okay, start again. Start again. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Talking Film. My name's Nick, and we have Daniel on the other side. And today we're here to talk about movie news and uh, everything that's happened in the world of film in the last 2 weeks, which isn't much. So we're probably going to talk about some other things as well. But yeah, so. Daniel, what are we going to talk about today?
Let's talk about Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. The next chapter of the Wizarding World.
Oh, yeah. Why did you say it so fast?
I have no idea.
So we're going to talk about Fantastic Beasts and where to find them before we start on any of the movie news this week, because we just saw it not long ago, and we have slightly different opinions. So I'll start. So this film is obviously set in the Harry Potter universe, but it's a prequel set in the 1920s in New York, and there was nothing particularly about it that had me feeling like, oh my gosh, yes, it's the return to Harry Potter world that I've been dreaming of. But when I saw it, I was like, I did not know I needed this movie because I enjoyed this movie so much. It was just fantastic. That was forced. It was bad pun. It was fantastic, and I really enjoyed. I think the bit that worked the best for me was J.K. Rowling's script, because what she managed to do was make it work like one of her novels, where you'd have a couple of complex subplots all interwinding into one underlying plot. So the way she managed to, not only the dialogue was also written very well, but not only that, but she managed to make the story work. And I think that's something that only J.K. Rowling could have done, with her amazing talent.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I agree with most of that.
Yeah. Well, I have other things to say, but that's just the first takeaway. My first thought is that her script was amazing, and yeah. It's also actually, it's almost like it's the closest thing we've had to a faithful J.K. Rowling adaptation, because she actually wrote it. So this is more J.K. Rowling in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them than in any of the Harry Potters, because they're all readapted and rewritten. So
that's true.
This is true J.K. And this is what it's like to read her books. Daniel, if you ever want to read her books have got these.
If you ever want to pop out a book, Daniel, and do some reading for once.
Yeah. If you ever want to read them, they're there, and they've got these amazing, complicated plots, so much more complicated than the movies. Movies just make them streamlined and efficient, and she does that very well.
I don't think the script was amazing per se. I think it was solid. She had some really great ideas this movie, and some things definitely do work, but then some things don't quite work. I feel like if this was maybe a book, we would get more on the politician side, because we only had 2 real short scenes with them, and that was about it. We don't need to know about the politics anymore of it all, and I felt like maybe that's more. If it was a book, we get more of that, but in the movie, this is just her way to putting these scenes in there. So some things definitely do get shortchanged, and I feel like sometimes we spend maybe a little bit too much with the main characters, the main 4 in the film. That's just my opinion, though.
I can definitely see where you're coming from with that first part, with the politicians and all that. But I disagree completely with the last part. I loved the main characters. I could have spent the entire run time with the main characters.
Me too. But it got towards.
Obviously,
You go.
for the purpose of the story, yeah, you're probably right. They did need to maybe flesh out some of the other characters a little bit more. The politicians, though, I guess I could defend J.K. Rowling for that because nobody really wants. No, I did not enjoy those short scenes, so I'm grateful there were more of them, really, because the politicians weren't interesting, right? They weren't. So they were just they were just a cog in the story that was supposed to make the rest of the story work, and they put as little in there as necessary. But at the same time, I mean, we're basically being spoilers now, so spoiler alert. Uh, um, but at the same time, they needed that. It's a symptom of the film medium. Like it's a problem with the film medium is that it's hard to create these complex stories with like a living, breathing world, like J.K. Rowling is so great at, without um, with the runtime that you have. It's just not possible. So she's tried to do that, and some things maybe didn't work, but that did not affect my enjoyment of the movie.
Oh, some things affect my enjoyment of the film, like that, like the I don't know the creature's name, but that hippo-like creature.
Really? Oh wow! I did not have a problem with that scene at all.
I'm
I
not a
thought,
fan of it.
yeah, no, that scene was not. Yeah, I understand that one. That scene was very much filler. It didn't really serve the plot, but I mean, the plot was, save New York from the magical creatures getting them worse. So he had to like that scene, and there's one later on with the monkey thing and the snake. Both of those they didn't really serve the larger plot, but they were necessary for character building and the whole Fantastic Beasts subplot. So he had to catch them. Um,
Mm.
but I don't think like I even said in my review I actually liked the comedic angle they went for here, and I think that that scene was probably maybe it was a bit long, but I think that the comedy worked for me, but maybe not for everyone. You know.
Nah, that's like the only one real scene that really I just don't like whatsoever. I wish would have cut. Everything else though, I generally do like, even if some of it was a bit rushed towards the end.
Happened to the bug? Like like I loved it, but like nobody questions the bug. It's such a nitpick. It's the
Exactly.
definition of a nitpick, but it's true.
Well, it's like one
Yeah.
of the
Well,
most
okay.
shown
So yeah.
creatures towards the start of the film, and then we'll just drop it. We don't need to really care about it.
Yeah, I know, but I wonder why they put it in then. If like obviously he miscounted, and that's why he didn't get it. But I wonder why they kept showing it so much in the beginning of the movie. Anyway, it's such a small issue. So the bigger things that worked for me are Eddie Redmayne as Newt Scamander was amazing, like
I thought it was good.
awesome.
I didn't thought it was awesome. I felt like he was the least interesting out of the four.
Oh,
But
you're dead to me. No,
I do like him. Don't get me wrong, I liked him. But
no.
I like the other
Let me
three
finish
much
though.
more. I felt like they were a lot more interesting characters compared to the.
Like I do think it's close between him and Dan Fogler as Jacob Kowalski because
Jacob.
he was the heart and soul of the movie.
He really
Was
was.
this that we see the world through his eyes, and I loved that character too, but I don't know, there was something about how Redmayne portrayed this. Obviously awkward. That was too easy for him. Obviously, he's done that type of performance before, but it does make it him any less of a genius. But I think in the moments that he's like, there was one scene that stood out in his performance to me, and that was when his suitcase, his briefcase gets taken off him, and he's like, "Don't hurt those creatures! Don't hurt those creatures!" And he's being dragged away, and all he cares about is his creatures. And I just like that performance he gives in that scene was just amazing. Like that was amazing to me because I actually like I felt for him, like
Yeah, I definitely. It was a good performance. Not the greatest. But you know what? I don't really care about terms of acting performances, so compared to Harry Potter films. Depends on the characters and how strong they are. And yeah, like you said, Dan Fogler, I would not expect him to be the standout performance of this movie. Like the character, out of all the characters, I was more concerned towards him because I thought he was just going to be way too goofy. He was just going to be for oh my god, comic relief. And while he was, in a way, they do a lot with his character. And out of all the characters, they make him so, I would say, real and personal because he wants to obviously fulfill his dream and open this bakery.
Yeah,
And
no,
therefore we feel
I
sorry for
totally
him.
agree. And the ending of the movie was very, very effective for me because of the way they build up the characters.
Yeah, the way I would say the way they build up Jacob and Queenie, I think that's her name. That has to be one of the best scenes I've seen in any movies this year.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think bottom line, I should also say that the CGI for me didn't always work. I don't know about you. Those effects didn't always work as well as they did in Harry Potter.
I wouldn't say visual effects. I would sort of say some of the creatures didn't really look that inspiring, like compared to the Harry Potter ones. I I just feel they weren't. I don't know. Some of them just look like animals from today and just mixed up a little bit. Like the Niffler looked a little bit like a platypus.
Yeah, no, I do wonder like how come they didn't include more creatures. I mean, that's a bit of a nitpick, but like they showed all these amazing creatures, and I agree that some of them perhaps looked a little bit too much like Pokemon. Like they were literally things taken from the present day and just changed a tiny bit. Like, but I also think that there are some exceptions to that. Like the bow truckle was a favourite of mine, and that was definitely that was a invention from the original book that he wrote. I'm not sure how many others were, but the in-universe book that he wrote. Um, yeah, so I think bottom line, I think the bottom line is that I really enjoyed it, and really I came away so satisfied that I could not nitpick it. It took me a while to even think, well, think about it seriously. What worked, what didn't work. It took me a while to actually um, go back over that. I enjoyed it so much. I was just enjoying it. Too busy having fun.
Okay. Well, we've talked about Fantastic Beasts a lot, so we shall move on to the news, and we're going to talk about Emilia Clarke joining Star Wars: The Han Solo spin-off.
Look, I'm going to be entirely honest with you. Emilia Clarke is not the best actress.
Oh, damn. How dare you say that? She is.
I know, right?
She is an
I love
Emmy-nominated actress.
yeah. So I love her character in Game of Thrones, right? I watch Game of Thrones. Uh, I love her character, but I think that sometimes she hits the character on the head, and then sometimes it's like, are you reading that off the script as you as you're delivering those lines? I don't know. Sometimes she does really well, and then sometimes she doesn't. So she is still kind of new. She only just debuted with Game of Thrones, so maybe we'll give her a chance. And as a movie debuts go, Terminator Genesis is not a good start really for anyone involved.
Yeah, for
So
anyone. She was okay. She was like, I don't think anyone was really that great in that movie, to be honest.
no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that's not a really great movie debut. Behind the hands of a competent director, or even a competent comedy director like Phil Lord and Chris Miller, I think maybe she do more. You got to also remember that the Game of Thrones as a TV show gets directed by different people depending on the episode. So maybe there's some of those good. I should actually check this. Some of her best performances are brought out by the same director. So it'll be interesting to see that with the right direction, maybe she can bring out her best performance. So as for Star Wars, I think hopefully they know what they're doing here. As always with Disney, I don't know why we even doubt them at this point, because like we just had Doctor Strange, which that was like, at least casting wise, amazing. I mean, I know that they're not all responsible for the same. Although sometimes I wonder, Donald Glover's going to be in what, uh, a Marvel movie, right? And then he's going to be in Han Solo. Which Marvel movie was it? Oh, I've forgotten now. But like, there's so much overlap. I'm waiting for Benedict Cumberbatch to be cast in Star Wars Episode
Of
9 as
course,
the villain or
so,
something.
there's overlap. Just look at what's her name? Lupita Nyong'o. Isn't she like
Yeah,
Marvel, Star Wars, and just like Disney fairy tale films like Jungle Book and all that?
yeah,
I
yeah.
think she
There's so much
overlaps the
overlap. So I
most.
wonder, is there one casting body that casts all of Disney's properties? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Do they just borrow from each other?
Probably.
They probably. But in any case,
Once in the
like
Disney
they,
family, always part of Disney family. See how Chris Lord and Phil Miller are going to. Phil Lord and Chris Miller, I should say. It's going to be interesting to see how they bring a comedic performance to Emilia Clarke, because I don't think she's been in a comedy before, has she? Like,
she might play the straight, the straight character, the one that is all isn't is so serious that around all the comedy characters that it's funny, you know?
yeah, I don't think she's had like delivered any comedic performances. Maybe Me Before You, but I haven't watched that movie yet. So
Well, neither did Jason Statham, but he was in Spy.
that's true. Okay, you don't need comedic chops. Everyone's a comedian.
Everyone's a comedian.
But what I don't know why I feel this way. Like, I don't watch Game of Thrones, people. I might be literally one of the only person in this
You are.
world that does not watch Game of
Not,
Thrones.
not might be. You are.
But I have been exposed to her performances in Terminator Genesis, and that probably wasn't the best start. But
No.
I don't. Compared to the other two names, they're more unknowns. Compared to Emilia Clarke, she's more recognizable compared to those other two. So it'll be interesting to see how, she's probably going to literally be the star power that's driving this movie. It'll be pretty good. Good to see how, I don't know, how she comes across against the other two unknowns that not many people are familiar towards.
That's a good point. Yeah. Because up until now, all the Star Wars movies have been casting unknowns, basically, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Emilia Clarke is probably literally the biggest name they've had so far.
But I mean, the Disney Star Wars, the first two, Rogue One and Episode 7, both had largely unknowns, except for the returning cast.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that they're going with someone that's, I'd say, middle-level star power, only because she's a TV star, and so she's not going to have the same commanding power as, say, Scarlett Johansson or Jennifer Lawrence. They're movie stars.
Yep.
Emilia Clarke's like really far down below them, but she's still above. What's the guy playing Han Solo?
Alden. I can't pronounce his last name. Alden.
I don't think. Yeah. And Donald Glover has a fan following from Community as well, so they're kind of similar. Depends who you ask, but obviously, lots more people watch Game of Thrones than Community.
We're going to race past this news topic, and we are going to rev up our engines for Pixar's Cars 3. The teaser trailer dropped, to many of people's surprise, and the reactions has basically been WTF. Literally, what the hell has Pixar done with this movie?
I don't know. It's funny because Pixar trailers, especially the teaser trailers, generally aren't that good. This might be one of the best teaser trailers that Pixar has ever released, and that's what. Really?
I'm not quite. Yeah, I agree and disagree on that. Just because I definitely feel like Pixar makes better teasers than Disney has. In recent years, that's for sure. Like the Brave teaser, I still think is one of Pixar's best teasers they've ever done. I don't mind
Brave
Toy
Kids was
Story
the
3. It was a
best.
great announcement trailer for what that was. Up was weird.
Mm.
I don't know why. Up was like 8 seconds long, showing the house up in the balloons. That was a weird teaser. Can't remember the other ones. Monsters University was a
Yeah,
college
it was
one.
very good. I like that. They do teaser trailers. Yeah, I think you're right because the teaser trailers that Pixar do are actual proper teaser trailers, not like just a snippet from the actual big trailer. Um, and I think that actually concerns me in this case because this is an amazing trailer, but I don't think it's the tone the movie's going to go for, and
Yeah,
that's
literally,
very
I don't think it's even in the movie. The more I've watched it, I've watched this teaser like 25 times now, uh, and I don't think it's going to be in the movie. Like, just that last shot, there is no cars whatsoever on the racetrack. It's just Lightning McQueen about to crash. So I have a feeling this was just made for teaser, but it looks so gorgeous. It is
yeah.
such an amazing shot.
I'm sure it's going to look gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. Cars has always looked quite gorgeous. Anyway, it's been one of the most. Think about it. The Cars franchise has actually been one of Pixar's most beautiful. Like, think about it.
Yeah,
You might not
I'm
be able to
thinking
get
of.
past the plot
I'm
or
thinking.
the
I'm thinking about it, but
characters.
it's so hard because all the other Pixar films are so amazingly detailed as well. They're so beautiful to watch.
Yeah, also, yeah, especially like Brave is beautiful as well. Comes to mind. Um, but but yeah, I read something once that said the scene in 2006 when Cars came out, the scene where they're driving was where Sally and Lightning are driving through they just go for a drive. The the visuals of that scene are just jaw-droppingly good for 2006.
Hmm.
But anyway, so I think that this is going to be an amazing looking film, and I think it will be better than Cars 2. I'm still
Oh
confident
yeah!
because obviously Lightning McQueen is the focus again, thank God.
Woo!
Um,
Ka-chow!
but I'm still a little bit worried because it's still a Cars movie, and I don't know this director well, and the plot, if it's going to be Lightning McQueen has an accident and has to learn to you know live a new life or whatever, could fall into cliche and could fall into
Good.
predictable. So hopefully Pixar, but it's Pixar, so who knows? They're the best in the biz. They're still the best in the business. Or actually, Disney's coming up there.
I would put Disney's the best now compared to
Yeah,
Pixar's recent
Disney's now
films.
kind of the best in the business, but they only that way because of Pixar, ironically. So I think um, I think we should just trust them for now until we see the movie and then be like, okay, now we can look back at the trailer and see whether that was completely misleading. Because nothing I hate more than misleading trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's one of my least favorite things is a misleading trailer that gets the tone wrong. So it'll be interesting to see looking back how it fits. But I'm excited.
Yeah. In first impressions wise, Cars 3 seems to be doing a good job at that. But it would
Yeah.
be depending on other trailers and see what Pixar does with that. But it does feel
Yeah.
really reminiscent of the first cast with
I've
Doc
loved
Hudson.
the reaction to this trailer. I've loved the everybody's like, oh my god, Lightning McQueen is dead. Rest in peace. 2016 claims another soul.
Oh really?
You know,
We're already
like
calling his death.
yeah.
But
And
it feels very reminiscent of Doc Hudson in the first movie, so that's where
yes,
it would be good though
it's
because it'll
thematic
feel like
as
Lightning
well.
McQueen would now know how Doc Hudson feels when he was
This
his
should have been Cars
mentor.
2. This should have been Cars 2.
Yeah, this should have been Cars 2. Please, Pixar, do not have any spy missions or anything in this movie.
Yeah.
Please. So yeah, I guess that's about it for Cars 3. Also today, they announced the Annie Awards. Nominations came out for that.
Oh wow. I didn't know that. That's gonna be.
I haven't had to look at the Annie Awards nominations yet, so we'll find out at the same time right now. Best Animated Feature. We have Finding Dory,
That's really what we should talk about.
Kubo
Yeah.
and the Two Strings, Kung Fu Panda 3,
Yeah.
Moana, and Zootopia.
What was the first one?
The first one was Finding Dory.
Wow! Oh my god! I haven't seen Kung Fu Panda 3.
They do also have
I haven't
independent
seen
one.
Kubo, but I've heard amazing things about Kubo.
They also have independent
So-
where they split the indies up as well. So for the independent one, Long Way North, Miss, I'm gonna mispronounce his name, Hokizai, Miss Hokizai, I think that's how you pronounce it. My Life as a Zucchini, I've heard about that one. The Red Turtle is another one I've heard, and Your Name is the one I've heard about the most. So what do you think of these nominations for Best Animated Feature?
Right. So it's hard without having seen Moana. It's very hard to assess who's the favorite. But I think at the moment it's got to be Kubo, right? Kubo and the Two Strings should. I don't know if they go for Leica animation. I don't know what the Annie Awards. I mean, the Oscars probably won't pick Kubo because they like to honor the big studios. But I think the crowd favorite at the moment, based on box office alone, would be Finding Dory. But Finding Dory is not going to win. No way is Finding Dory going to win. It's not going to win the Oscar, and it's not going to win. I actually just realised that I've only seen two. I've only seen Zootopia and Finding Dory. I will see Moana, I think, this week. So, yeah.
Gotta wait a whole month.
So hopefully I'll be able to have more info then. But I was actually really disappointed I missed Kubo and the Two Strings because that I've heard just nothing but good things, and based on reviews and every word of mouth, it sounds like that should be the one that wins. So, I mean, even though Zootopia and Moana both also got really good reviews.
Yeah, without seeing Moana, because I've seen most of them, I've seen all of them except for Moana. I would probably just without Moana, I would say Kubo and the Two Strings is my personal favorite amongst.
Damn you! You've seen Kubo and the Two Strings.
It's such a great movie, but like the other two are just as great. Zootopia was an amazing movie, and Kung Fu Panda 3 was surprisingly the best of the trilogy so far. So, Finding Dory, I know I've had my discussions of Finding Dory. I'm not a big fan of that movie. I just think it's slightly just above average, that film.
I liked it more than you, but I still think it's problematic.
Definitely. But just knowing the history of Annie Awards, like, I love How to Train Your Dragon, but Toy Story 3 should have won 2010 Annie Awards, not How to Train Your Dragon. So
yeah, and Monsters University was nominated. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Monsters University was nominated. It was the Oscars that didn't nominate that movie.
Oscars didn't nominate it. Yeah.
So.
Which was a crime. That was an absolute crime.
That was a crime. But you know what was a bigger crime? The Lego Movie.
Oh, that wasn't nominated.
That was nominated for Oscars whatsoever, except for Best Song. That's all it got.
Oh my god. Yeah, the Oscars are tragic, but what won? 2014 was a great year. Who 2014 was the year that was that what won 2014?
Inside Out won last year. How to Train Your Dragon 2 won 2014.
Yes. Okay. It was How to Train Your Dragon 2. Cool. All right. Now, so Annies, we have those. Does that mean that you think that those 5 are going to be the same nominations for the Oscars?
Not exactly, because they do split independent. In the Annies compared to Oscars, they put both indies and mainstream animation all in one of the 5 nominees there. So that's going to be even harder, because we do know for at least the past couple of years, there's been at least 2 indie films being nominated with the mainstreams. So I'm going to assume it's still going to be another 2. Yeah. We're going to have 1 all mainstream this time. Not sure.
Kung Fu Panda 3 might get sidelined, and I think that Finding Dory might even as well, based on Monsters University being excluded. I think but those other 3 have to be. Surely Zootopia, Moana, and Kubo have to be nominated for Oscars.
See, like,
I can't.
This year is just going to be so so weird because it's gonna be it's I've never seen the best animated feature Oscars this competitive this time. This is
No, this
crazy
is
of how
definitely like
competitive it's been.
I thought 2014 was competitive, and then the
Yeah.
Lego Movie didn't get nominated. But this is going to be the most competitive, I think, ever.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
2014 was weird because like Lego Movie didn't get nominated, yet the Box Trolls did. And I recently just watched that movie, and no, yeah, stop motion was the animation was amazing, but storytelling, Lego Movie trumps that so much. Box Trolls really
yeah.
that got nominated, but
I think also the Lego Movie has live action in it, so maybe that had an impact on it being excluded.
yeah, but I mean, Wally had live action that got nominated.
Very little.
Yeah, very little. I know, but I don't know. But yeah, it's so competitive. Well, where do you fall with this? Like, is because Disney's got two animated films from Walt Disney Animation Studios. Does that mean only one's going to get nominated? But
Mm,
just according to Rotten Tomatoes, both of those films are at 98% right now. Both Zootopia and Moana. So if one is going to get sidelined, which gets sidelined? The one that's fresh in people's mind, or Zootopia, where people were just
no, they're
so
both.
amazed at how
That's a good point.
the film was
That's a good point.
tackling some of
How
the
can you
issues and
have? How can you have? It's like nominating the same actor twice for two awards, nominating the same studio.
and then you got another
Uh,
Disney film from Pixar with Finding Dory, which is, I would say, the
yeah,
box office
yeah,
favorite.
exactly.
So do
Three
you throw
Disney
that in
films.
there?
No, Finding Dory's not. I don't think Finding Dory's going to make the Oscar cut. But
Wow,
I
that'd be
think,
surprising.
no, I don't think it will. I think Moana and Zootopia have to both be in there. I think they have to. They're just both too good.
Cuba and
Um,
Two Strings, Laika has been nominated for all three of their films so far. So does
and they
that
haven't
mean
won.
Kubo will
Have
be
they
the
won?
first? They've never won, but they've always been nominated. So does that mean
Mm.
Kubo is going to get nominated? Like, and no, and
Okay.
and stop motion seems to be hard to win actually because the only stop motion animated film that has ever won the best animated feature Oscars was Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were Rabbit back in 2006.
Mm.
So, um,
I
but
think this is going to change it. I think Kubo. My money's on Kubo to win the Oscar.
I don't
So
think I hope it gets nominated, but I don't think it's gonna get a win. But then you got man, then you got all the other films. Does
well,
Trolls
if
get
not,
in there? Sing's
yeah,
getting
if
some
not
strong reviews
Kubo,
right now.
if not Kubo, I think it's going to be Moana because Disney loves musicals. Oscars love musicals. So I think, yeah, I
Kung
don't
Fu
think
Panda,
Zootopia is going to win. Unfortunately, I
Kung
love
Fu Panda 3.
Zootopia, but I don't think it's going to win. So I think the nominations so far are going to be Kubo, Moana, and Zootopia, and the other two in that category are going to be dropped for two independents that you mentioned, but I don't think I've seen any of. So yeah.
Wow. I don't know. I could also see Moana get the same treatment as Tangled, really, where Tangled was not nominated for Best
Maybe.
Animated Feature whatsoever, but it was nominated for Best Original Song, and Moana could go down
Maybe
that
maybe
path.
Utopia gets nominated for
Hmm,
picture, which makes it
don't
easier for them
know.
to pick. But I don't know. We'll wait and see. Anyway, we
We'll wait
better
when
move on.
when
We'll
Oscar
wrap
we'll wait for
that.
when the Academy Awards finally the nominations are revealed and see where that falls.
Mm, yeah, definitely.
So thank you for tuning in to Talking Film. Um, sorry it was a bit lackluster episode. With there hasn't been that much news
Been a bit of
to cover. It's been
a
very
slow
slow,
week.
very quiet. So hopefully the next 2 weeks we'll get something more. But I'm not. I seriously doubt it. At least this week because of Thanksgiving. So he's hoping we get some more big news like Emilia Clarke joining Star Wars. So maybe Star Wars Episode 8, the official title. Maybe I don't know, but
Oh, please. Oh, gosh, yes.
just having something to cover. So yeah, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, WordPress, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. All the details will be in the description below.
All of those amazing ideas, guys. Do it.
And yeah, thank you for tuning in. We will see you in the next 2 weeks. So bye for now.